Yeah. Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? All those nights when you've got no lights, the check is in the mail, and your little angel spun the cat up by its tail, and your third fiance didn't show. Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name. If you roll out of bed, Mr. Coffee's dead. The morning's looking bright, and you shrink right off to Europe and didn't even write. And your husband wants to be a girl. Be glad there's one place in the world where everybody knows your name.
It's good to be back, Jack.
And they're always glad you came. You wanna go where people know people are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Look at this faggot.
Also, I was looking in the garbage for some food.
Hi. Oh my God!
Everybody knows your name. And they're always glad you came. Where everybody knows your name.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Midnight Show at not midnight, at least here, but it's always midnight somewhere, as they say. And it's September 12th, 2025. I had to think about it for a second there. 2025. Holy crap. You know what? Maybe we should just let it.
I'd have to ask. I really be fine with it.
I don't think you guys realize. I mean, I've seen America First a few times, but I'm not exactly like. I'm not like a fan of you. I won't consider you a friend. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, he's been friend-zoned. It's a strange time to be alive, isn't it? Man, it's weird. It was weird just enjoying my day off. And suddenly I hear that Charlie Kirk got shot. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, it must have been like he got shot maybe in a non-fatal zone. And you click on it, and motherfucker got shot in the jugular from 200 feet away. Like, by an expert marksman. It was crazy. It was one of those things that even though you knew what you were in store for, you didn't realize it was going to be of that magnitude. That got an audible, oh fuck! Oh, I need to turn my mic down a little bit there. Alright. Yeah, the whole Mama JF thing is a huge, I don't know, like a mystery story that we'd have to dive into. So there's so much to cover. Shit. Pardon me. At first, we had like 4 other streams planned, and then something, random shit just kept coming up, and this one was enough for me to go, okay, maybe we dust off the old PC, see if it still works even, and do an old live stream about Charlie Kirk, of all people. Charlie Kirk's the one they killed. And from everyone I've talked to, it's crazy enough, like, this has been a talking point around the dinner table for a lot of people. Random people who don't follow politics. Like, this was the water cooler conversation at work, where people don't follow this internet bullshit at all. At the end of the day, somebody walked up to me and said, hey, I need to hear your opinion on this because I know it's going to be... I was rather flattered by that, but yeah, it was enlightening. Thankfully, at least in my experience, I had 0% of people who came out and danced on his grave and just did the whole bit. I mean, hey, you guys saw the intro. I'm not exactly against being provocative or edgy or any of that bullshit. But when it came to the magnitude and the graphics, I don't know what it was about it, to be quite honest with you. But there was just something really unsettling about the whole thing. And so when you have people like that were accusing Charlie Kirk, of all people, of the white nationalism and the fascism, and one of the things I saw was that he was for stoning gays, and then you really had to think to yourself, the debate me guy, really? That's who you think the enemy is? It really makes me wonder what you would think of the less milk toast, right? 2 words, milk toast, person out there. What does it say about what you would think about anybody else? Like, are we really that far down this path? And thankfully, in my experience, every single person was just like, nah, man, that was fucked up. I don't even think even if he was out there being an asshole, that was a bit much. Even coming from the average person that doesn't follow internet bullshit or politics online. They're just here for the laughs, basically. So, yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, I think it sent a very deep message to everybody out there. Maybe this could even, I don't know if this is an exaggeration, but this gave me JFK vibes, right? It sent shivers down the spine of everybody living here. Every person I talked to basically said, none of us are safe. We could get fucking shot in the throat in front of everybody we know in broad daylight. And no one's going to do anything about it. Nothing's going to happen. And nothing's ever going to change. For a lot of internet commentators, say Hassan Piker, for instance, they're starting to think to themselves, maybe this isn't the best career that I've chosen for myself. Maybe I might just decide get a job at Wendy's, maybe at Home and Body. Is that the name of that place? So I think the best place to start, I'm going to put my down. The best place to start, because I wasn't 100% convinced that Netanyahu had something to do with this until I saw this clip. This is, of course, only my belief. I could be wrong. I could just be talking out I am talking out my ass, but I could also be talking out my ass and wrong. We'll see how that goes. So, let's see. If everything lined up, it'd be just a second here, chat. This clip, this clip right here. Okay, it's gonna come through. I might need to increase the volume. And let's go.
It's just the absurdity of it. Some of the internet rumors that somehow Israel is behind the Charlie Kirk murder, and I don't believe it for 1 second. But
see, she had to. She had to go, of course, we wouldn't ever think that you guys could do something that horrific. You guys have a far reputation of just going out and handing out candy. Israel is known for just handing out money, handing out candy. They have a great reputation. I'd hate for anybody to get the wrong impression over at Newsmax that they would ever accuse the great Israel of doing anything wrong. They have a reputation of doing everything fantastic, and
I want you to, make a statement. It's so absurd.
That's insane.
It's insane.
Israel also changes the the orbit of the moon. Israel pushes the sun. I mean, the whole thing is, it's not only insane, I think it's so absurd, so stupid, and so ridiculous. You can't believe that people are saying that. They just found the perpetrator. They'll get to the bottom of this, but they go, they have no limits.
Okay, so they just found the perpetrator. This was 7 p.m. yesterday, my time. They hadn't found the perpetrator yet. And this isn't the first instance of Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, having information that the public didn't have, like knowing Charlie Kirk was dead before he'd even been shot, basically.
When you hate,
and also just look at how fucking guilty he looks, right? And it's possible to be guilty and Jewish. They're separate things, right? But look at how guilty this motherfucker looks. Really take a look at him. Typically innocent people go on a media tour to let everybody know that they didn't do the thing that a couple of shit-talking assholes on the internet are saying. It's like he's sitting there in the Kiwi Farms discussion page going, these fuckers. The funny thing is, he's probably just browsing his Twitter because his entire Twitter is filled with people like cheering for the Holocaust and shit. It's fucking funny as hell.
Jews, when you hate the Jewish state, you're willing to say anything and promote all these absurd rumors. And by the way, they're willing to kill us all the time. I mean, that's what they're doing. And over the centuries, when Jews, especially in the Middle Ages, the horrific Middle Ages,
what the fuck does the Middle Ages?
Things were said about Jews you couldn't possibly believe. We were poisoning the wells. We were drinking the blood of Christian children.
Didn't you guys actually do that though?
You name it. I mean, these things. That's
historical record
up to the Holocaust. The Nazis said the same thing. We're carrying vermin. We're spreading disease, and people believed it.
You had fucking, what was it? Typhus. What is it? Was it fleas or ticks? It's one of the two. They did have fleas and ticks. They're human beings. You can have fleas and ticks, dipshit. Okay, maybe I'm being too generous, but fleas and ticks. Fucking.
And every time they believed that this was a prelude to a greater and greater massacre, culminating with the worst massacre of them all, the Holocaust. Well, since then, we've learned, when people spread these lies about us, prepare yourself for the assault. And, they're trying to delegitimize the state of Israel. Charlie Kirk said to me that, he wrote me this detailed letter, you have to fight the slander. These untruths, these vilifications have consequences. And he was right. But I'll tell you one thing.
Who would have platformed you there, buddy? Is Charlie Kirk. And yet, maybe you could get on Nick Fuentes' show now. Maybe you could go on America First and argue with Nick Fuentes. He could take you out on a Catboy date. For fuck's sake.
Fighting on the battlefield against the terrorists and winning. And he was fighting on the battlefield of ideas. And I think he was winning. He was going to win. That's why they shot him. I hope they don't silence him. I don't think people will give in to these ridiculous lies.
All right, so ridiculous lies. Of course, they have a long history of doing nice things, and people can't get fleas and ticks. All right. There was another one. I want to say he goes on Fox. Let me find it here. It'll take just a second. There's just so much to go through. It's completely insane. Here we go. A separate interview. He went on Fox to let everyone know. But
the
by the way,
on the on the extremes, the Islamists, the radical Islamists, and their union with the ultra progressives They often speak about human rights. They speak about free speech, but they use violence to try to take down their enemies, whether it's President Trump, who's been almost assassinated twice, or, they try to kill me here too. But they got Charlie Kirk, and it's just heartbreaking. This is a worldwide problem.
Yep, the Muslims got him. The Muslims got him. Well, thank you there, BB, for letting us know that before the official story even came out. And now the official guy that they have looks like a young man that is certainly incapable of getting like a trick shot, more or less, like from on top of awning 200 feet away, like something a fine marksman would be even lucky to get themselves. Oh yeah, it was this young man. Now this, I don't know how long ago this was. Was it 200 yards? You see, I was saying 200 yards at first, and somebody corrected me and said feet. So it was yards. That's insane. So this was not too long ago. I want to say maybe even his last media appearance, but I don't know that it was that recent. Let me throw my headphones back on. I love that we have Gypsy Crusader right at the top of the replies.
Now, it's still up to us. I saw a lot of rumors online today. I was made aware of this by my team that I canceled some sort of college tour. That's bullshit. I saw those rumors. They are false. I will be coming to college campuses, many of them this year. So will we all, I am sure.
This is the wrong
because we're Americans.
Pardon me.
And we're not going to be.
You will have to excuse me. You know that fuck it, we'll do it live mentality? That's more or less how we're going about this now. And then there was so much. There was that lady that was stabbed on the bus. And and you'll notice the discussion about that and race war now just boom disappeared overnight. Here's another interesting one. Israeli PM Netanyahu invited Charlie Kirk to come to Israel 2 weeks prior to his public assassination. Huh. Bring that up on screen here for a second. Always accept the trip to Israel, he says. You know, it'd be horrible if something were to happen to you. All right. Yeah, here it is. Here's his interview with Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro.
On COVID, on lockdowns, on Ukraine, on the border, it's like maybe we should also ask a question. Is the media totally presenting the truth when it comes to Israel? Just a question, that maybe we shouldn't believe everything the media says, because I know I've been conditioned to ask a lot more critical questions over the last couple of years. So, Ben, some people would accuse Israel of wanting to ethnically cleanse. Some people in the Israeli government are saying, again, it's all over the place, right? You have opinions all over. In your opinion, what would a good outcome 5 years from now be, and how does one respond to the claims of ethnic cleansing?
And that's where the video clip ends. And another thing to keep in mind, I'll have to wait to get to that, but I kind of have a time limit, so to speak. So I gotta try to stay on course. And I have a tendency to ramble. Okay, now Harrison H. Smith, I think is his name, right? Yeah, Harrison H. Smith, a contributor to InfoWars. August 13th,
video at least.
Posted that, I'm not going to name names, but I was told by somebody close to Charlie Kirk that Charlie thinks Israel will kill him if he turns against them. Many people had asked him to go into detail, and he basically says just that. That's really all there is to it. Let's see if we can turn up the speed a little bit. So thank you to Harrison Smith for going into detail. I imagine he's feeling a bit nervous at the moment.
To talk a little bit about my tweet that's gone completely viral from last month. It's now the #1 tweet on anything Benjamin Netanyahu is posting. So thanks, guys. Really glad I'm on his radar now. That's cool. But it's true. I mean, I don't really have too much to add to it. Honestly, I'm not going to say who it was that told me because they asked me not to, kind of for obvious reasons. So if they want to go public, they're more than welcome to. I don't have much to add to it other than basically like a month ago, I watched an interview with Megyn Kelly and Charlie Kirk, and I thought they looked scared, and I commented on that, made a video out of it. And then like a day or so later, I was talking to this person, and the way I remember the conversation going was that we were just talking about sort of Israel and Zionism and Zionist influencers. And
I was trying to zoom in.
I remember
that nose.
The other person saying to me, well, Charlie Kirk says he's
seems
afraid
like
to go
a
against
nice
Israel
guy
because he thinks they might kill him. And I said, that's crazy because I just made that video about how Charlie Kirk seems scared. That's crazy that you're saying that right now. And that's the way I remember it going. It may have been the other way around. I may have said they look scared, and they said, well, he says he thinks Israel will kill him for going against him. But then we talked about other stuff. We moved on. I don't really have any more information other than that. At the time I was thinking, Charlie Kirk seems scared he's going to lose his sponsors, lose donors, something like that. I wasn't even thinking about losing his life. So that was my reaction. I was like, whoa.
So yeah, that's really all there is to it. But big shout out to Harrison H. Smith for going into detail there. I can imagine he was sitting there thinking, damn, I really wish I had said nothing at all, motherfucker. So he got the usual, what do you call it? Eulogy tour. Everybody came out to say, man, what a great guy he was, etc., etc. I probably had the same opinion on the guy that you guys did. Like, he was one of those dudes, like, if you can imagine back when you were, like, in college or in high school, like, sort of the dude, the dorky kid in class with some basic bitch Republican opinions on shit, thinking that he had discovered politics for the first time for humanity. Like, oh my God, guys, don't you think that maybe, marriage should be in between a man and a woman? As if like no one's ever said that before. And then you hear about this dude getting shot in the fucking throat, and it really just reminds you that life can be taken at any fucking time, man. Like, I know people say that a lot, but for real, live your life, boys. It even brought out Asmongold. Let's see here. This post is from an account you muted. I fucking hate this motherfucker. I cannot stand him. Every time his shit comes up on my timeline, it just like puts me in a shitty mood. So I just mute him. I don't want to block a motherfucker, but I'll mute him. Even brought out Zach Asmongold. You thought you were cute with your 8647 t-shirts and other coded calls for violence, and now it's happening to you. It's not going to stop. Now it's only going to get worse, and no one will have any sympathy for you. Be safe. So even a guy who's almost infamous for sitting on the fence and not really having enough conviction to really say what's on his mind in fear of alienating half of his audience. That's how a lot of these guys, and I imagine a lot of people in society operate. Like, none of us really want to piss off all of the people we share our world with, but we're tired of acting like stupid shit is real. I don't know how to put it in any other words than that. I've only had a couple of cups of coffee, right? Just gets tiring, like looking into the sunrise and saying that's not a sunrise. I actually don't have Discord on my computer anymore. So I don't know how I'll go about that, but I'll have to take a look at that in a minute. See, I don't know how long ago this clip was.
Donors.
Ooh. Hello. Just a second.
Have been the number one funding mechanism of radical, open border, neoliberal, quasi-Marxist policies, cultural institutions, and nonprofits. This is a beast created by secular Jews. And now it's coming for Jews, and they're like, what on earth happened? And it's not just the colleges. It's the nonprofits, it's the movies, it's Hollywood, it's all of it. It's like, time for you guys to wake up and say no more. Draw a line in the sand. I don't care if you hate me. And
Jude didn't consider that they'd actually come and kill him. Like, it just still blows my mind thinking about a foreign government's intelligence community running an operation, sneaking onto American soil, killing an American citizen, and then just escaping into the night as if nothing had happened. You know, and more people are tired of feeling like domestic violence victims in their own fucking homes. So to lighten, is lighten the mood the right phrase to use? I don't know, but we have this Rabbi Shmuley. Today, as we witness yet another attempt to silence pro-Israel voices, we are reminded of the constant threats facing Rabbi Shmuley. For years, he has stood boldly for Israel and the Jewish people, of course. Yet he has been physically assaulted in Vienna, Miami, Sydney, and even Times Square. The dangers are real, and they only continue to grow to ensure his safety and his ability to continue this vital work. We urgently need to raise funds for cameras, fencing, and professional security personnel. Without these protections, Rabbi Shmuley and his family remain exposed to unacceptable risks. Donate here. Let's go ahead and check that out. Now, so bold, so brave is right. Like, the amount of what is it, chutzpah? The amount of chutzpah is off the fucking charts. This dude knows how to hustle some fucking money. 761. $761 out of $500,000. So this dude really expected $500,000 to be donated to him for the for Charlie Kirk getting murdered. So, amazingly enough, this brought out everybody, just about every right-wing personality or grifter or however you want to put it. They're a little annoyed. And if you go to really anybody's Twitter like this, or a good example, let's go to Benjamin Netanyahu's. Let's see how that one's going. Every one of his tweets is just all the way down, calling him a kike, calling him a Jew, you know, you name it. And there's something, I don't know if, is the word funny or ironic or... There's that saying, you are your own worst enemy. And maybe they thought this would just be a walk in the park, a normal operation. No one would think much of it. But with the particular climate that we've been seeing in America recently, like think about that white girl, right? That crazy black man. I got that white girl. He said he stabbed her in the throat and everyone just stood by and watched her die. That got forgotten overnight. No one gives a shit about her anymore. Yeah, but Netanyahu's entire Twitter is just... And I believe the phrase is, you reap what you sow, man. Maybe there's a reason that these particular people don't have a reputation for, what's the phrase? Charity? Is that the one I'm looking for? Although, of course, as we all know, charity is just a money laundering scheme. It's just a bunch of bullshit. All right. Rabbi Shmuley using this great opportunity to beg for money. And here's the other interesting thing. So Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu tweeted about Charlie Kirk's death at the same exact time. Furthermore, another interesting thing is that the Jerusalem Times were the first news outlet, or was the first news outlet, to report on Charlie Kirk's death. Just little things like that kind of add up and begin to, let's just say, let's be charitable, skew the truth against them, you know, in the opposite direction. Let's see. There's just a lot to go through. I've sent myself a lot of shit recently. Because at first, the stream from like a month ago, or however long ago it was about the series of people who, out of thin air, for no reason at all, came out to go, oh, by the way, Nick Fuentes isn't a Fed. Just wanted to throw that out there. Back into the shadows they go. And that became the topic of discussion that was preceded by the push he had gotten by the media industrial complex. You know, like there is such a thing as negative promotion, right? Oh, God. Oprah Winfrey. Let's see what she has to say for this. God damn.
You know, look, a young woman is dead.
Oh,
let's take that into
I went too far back. Okay, I went too far back. But, you know, since we're here, this is about the death of, is it Irina Zarutska?
Into consideration. And yes, a man who should have been behind bars was loose and out.
Well, he should have been.
Well, listen,
Yeah.
He was a schizophrenic man. His mother begged them to take him and put him away. So stop politicizing this. This is not political. This has to do with how we take care of our sick Americans when they are in need.
That poor man, you know, he just needed help. He just needed help. Alright, so I went too far back. And, you know, just like that, the story has completely disappeared. I found this, his praying for at Charlie Kirk. Like, he was out there going to be able to, like, pull out his phone and go, thanks, BB. I appreciate it. I appreciate the shout out, buddy. Maybe I'll actually go to that, take you up on that trip to Israel after all. All right. See it being rushed away. That dog is mad. Okay, so I'm gonna have to play this clip and step away for a second and let my dog in. Okay, here we go.
Especially divisive younger
27
figures in
seconds,
this,
for fuck's sake.
who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions. But following up what was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions.
You reap what you sow. Funny how that seems to be an ongoing theme, right? All right. Not the article I was looking for, but okay, here's the clip I was looking for. So in this clip, we see Charlie Kirk.
Ghislaine.
The way he said Ghislaine there. Charlie Kirk correctly identifies Jeffrey Epstein as an agent of Israel.
And Ghislaine's father, Robert Maxwell, who was obviously a spy of the Israeli intelligence agencies, but there was something else going on here. Epstein was not some sort of whiz-kid hedge fund manager. Epstein was playing a part. Epstein was a LARPer. Epstein was cast for a specific role, and he played it really well. The sweatpants and the Harvard jacket, the kind of disheveled hair, looking as if he was so smart and above the clouds that he was doing advanced mathematic equations on the back of napkins. But if you actually go into some of the videos of people that met with Epstein at the time, they said he was awfully unimpressive when it came to finance and markets and economics. And it's nothing new that if you're in the intel agencies, you want to try and get as much blackmail on powerful people as possible. Easy, not hard. And this is no longer just speculation. First of all, the evidence that shows that Epstein was a creation of either Mossad, Israeli intelligence, American intelligence, Saudi intelligence, or maybe he was just a hired gun. Maybe he was just the guy that countries would go to and park a couple $100 million and say, hey, can you get one of the members of the royal family with a 13-year-old so we can get them to do what we want to do? Members of Congress are actively being blackmailed. The Epstein playbook is being used on a daily basis. Jeffrey Epstein was not a financier. He was not a hedge fund manager. Jeffrey Epstein was a key player in a multi-decade blackmail operation against the most powerful people on the planet.
Yeah, it's starting to make a little bit more sense, huh? So I remember thinking, why Charlie, right? Why Charlie Kirk of all people? Because he was starting to notice, eh? Starting to make a little bit more sense. Oh yeah, there are people who are what's the word? So happy about this guy being dead, which just seems kind of crazy to me. Just fuck these people. There's really no other way to say it. Fuck these people. These are Twitter images, so I can't really. But there are just people happy to celebrate with their cult. But here's how Congress, or excuse me, the House of Representatives, here's how they're handling it.
Ask that all members present in the chamber and those in the gallery please rise for a moment of prayer for Charlie Kirk and his family.
It's broken of edit. I mean, dude, do they need to make a moment of prayer fucking 2 minutes long? In their defense. There we go.
Let's wait a minute. Wait a minute. The House will be in order. The House will be in order. Shh. The House will be in order. Shh. The House will be in order.
They're still going off.
We will join prayer right after this, okay? The chair lays before the House a communication. The House will be in order.
Yeah, exactly. And all of these people fucking knelt for George Floyd as if he had like walked on water personally. Let's see. Here's another winner. Make that a little bigger.
Charlie Kirk's family and to Charlie Kirk, who obviously has, become a target for somebody. I don't know whether it's political violence because I don't know who did it. I know they seem to have somebody in custody. But I will say that political violence, unfortunately, has been ratcheting up in this country. We saw the shootings, the killings in Minnesota. We've seen other political violence occur in other states. And I would just say it's got to stop. And I think there are people who are fomenting it in this country. I think the president's rhetoric often foments it. We've seen the January 6th rioters who clearly,
January 6th. Oh my God.
Have tripped a new era of political violence. My sympathy to.
Oh my God, January 6th is like their version of the Holocaust. They just can't help themselves but bring up, oh my God, January 6th. No one gives a fuck about January 6th. No, I don't want to listen to Elizabeth Warren. I'm like, let's see here. Yeah, more and more people that, quite frankly, more and more people are convinced by the second that Israel is in fact behind this. This one is, I believe Jackson Hinkle was it the official podcast? I think that's the name of it with, Critical? Is that the dude's name? As he says, yes, I do think it's odd that a prime minister who is in the middle of bombing 7 countries halfway across the world tweeted about Charlie Kirk minutes after his assassination. And maybe if that was the only thing, you would go, okay, maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe, but I agree with that assessment. Like, it's a bit strange. The dude knew of that as if he was sitting there in the Kiwi Farms update thread, just furiously highlight scrolling. Let's see yeah, here's a little bit of a compilation of people cheering on this completely defenseless man being shot. We're going to mute that. Does anyone really think that this dude was like the Antichrist? He was kind of lame, but it's as if people just need somebody to despise. And hey, I mean, to be fair, I guess I'm sitting here cursing Bibi, cursing Benjamin Netanyahu as if he's a Jewish man walking by a Christian church. Or is it a graveyard? I can't remember. All right.
You know, I've never shared a Trump post in my life. I will contemplate sharing this one. But what I will say with a caveat, he wasn't admired and loved by all. So that's an exaggeration. But the truth is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Sorry,
Let me
Maxie,
finish.
go ahead.
He doesn't.
Fucking brutal. Right before Charlie Kirk had been shot, one of the talking points besides the bus stabbing was Rand Paul being upset about drug dealers, cartel members getting bombed by military planes. And he came out and said, but has anybody read To Kill a Mockingbird? As if he's like a 7th grader writing a fucking book report. It was the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Okay, this is a 7-minute clip. I'm not watching that, but we'll throw this one on.
The behavior by a lot both privately and publicly, are pushing people like you and me away. Not like we're going to be pro-Hamas, not like we're going to, but we're like, honestly, the way you are treating me is so repulsive. I have text messages, Megan, calling me an anti-Semite. I am learning biblical Hebrew and writing a book on the Shabbat. I honor the Shabbat, literally the Jewish Sabbath.
And you'll notice that's ridiculous. That seems like a sincere, like, of all people, they're calling you an anti-Semite. A lot of people, I'm sure I've mentioned this already, a lot of people who don't like Charlie Kirk, or I should say didn't like Charlie Kirk, felt that he was too soft, too gentle, too friendly with an organization. Really, or maybe organization is the proper phrase or term. With Israel. People who, especially this last year, have done unspeakable things. And then will immediately, whenever confronted on anything, will just bring up the Holocaust, unfucking prompted. But of all people, Charlie Kirk's an anti-Semite. That seemed like her reaction there.
I visit Israel and fight for it. And there's another article out in the Times of Israel today. I could read it on air. I was just reading before I got on. Charlie, what are you doing? Like, what am I doing? I'm sorry. Like, let's just take a step back here. Like, I'm an American citizen. Yes, I want Israel to win. Yes, I'm a Christian. But like some of the mess, and you've seen how I've been treated, Megan, by some, not all, by some.
No, it's very irritating.
It's
been so unfair.
You,
they were coming after you after a turning point for, among other things, that you had Dave Smith there. Dave Smith is allowed to criticize Israel.
Like, of all people, I apologize. The audio on this clip's a little off from the rest of them, but people have been cheering as if this guy was somebody like Patrick Little or David Duke or one of those people who go out and say just horrific shit about, like, at least, not that he would deserve it, right? But somebody like Patrick Little who goes out there with a sign that says "Kill all Jews," you would see why, if he got attacked, why something like that would happen. Even if you don't support it, you would go, okay, you're kind of asking for trouble a little bit with a sign like that, buddy. Not that I support it, but I could see why that would happen. But when this guy, the debate me guy, the person who is probably one of the fewer people left trying to go out and talk in good faith, like a fucking dork, quite frankly. When it's that guy who has to be afraid now, leaving, and that's not to mention the tragedy of his children and his wife being left a widow. But before I forget, formerly Chuck with $4.99, some sort of retribution. There's going to drag his wife to the podium to denounce it. I didn't even think about that. You're probably right. They're probably going to drag his wife out to come out and go, yeah, by the way, he loved Israel. We were planning on going out there. We're going to accept that trip. Oh, God. I can see it now. I really can. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. But I'll let this continue to play. I watched the whole thing. It's like 17 minutes long. But I'm assuming this is the meat and bones of it here.
You had both sides. The Israeli side was
You're not allowed
overrepresented.
to, though. No, you're not allowed to. It's even worse than that. Again, I just want to repeat for the 5th time. I love Israel. I want Israel to win. But my moral character is now being put into question.
You see how he has to, he's walking on eggshells. Like everybody has to act like this, especially in public, especially in real life. It's like everybody's sitting around with somebody with a gun pointed at them in the room, where they have to go, oh, no, I swear, I love you and I hope you win.
Question, Megan. Not my decisions. Not like, hey, are you doing this? Is it smart or is it dumb? But no, I am a bad person if I do this. And I could go, you saw it, Megan. It was trending on Twitter, thousands of tweets and text messages. And if I were to be charitable and generous, I will say the people that are attacking me are in a hyper paranoid state. because they're at war, and war tends to make things black and white, and you're a hammer looking for a nail. So I'm trying to be charitable, Megan. Literally, I'm trying to cut as much slack as I can, right? Like, okay, what would
I
it be?
did too, man. Nice freeze frame. But I did too. I wanted so bad to like this group of people. That's why it's so hard to really accept the reality of the situation. Because at our core, we really all, a lot of us anyway, a lot of people I've talked to, we really wanted to like these guys. But yeah, somebody had asked if Nick Fuentes has said anything about this. I did see a tweet of his. That was basically your good optics tweet. Your it's horrible this happened. I think he took the show off for that night. I imagine Nick is shitting himself right now. He's already had somebody come to his house with a gun, and another woman who wanted to debate him, I think, if I remember correctly. That clip was in the intro. The part where he tells her, like, get the fuck out of here. That still brings what do you call it? Like a dark laugh to me. Like, I just imagine that some old lady basically wanted, I forget what she was there to ask him about. It was something really trivial and dumb. But seeing how things are going right now, who can blame him? Now, like I mentioned earlier, there's the whole thing whether or not he was a Fed. Milo accused him of being a Fed. There is now Nick had shared a text message exchange between him and Milo on January 5th, the day before the January 6th. What do you even call it? Is catastrophe? That's probably an accurate term, right? I keep trying to look for the right word and just going, I don't know, that's good enough. Hey, thanks, bud. I'm still here. But my first impression on that is, why would Nick Fuentes have Milo's phone number and vice versa? But after that, shortly after that, I forgot to mention, the reason he had shared this information was a screenshot between the two of them where Milo was telling him, hey, don't show up at January 6th tomorrow because shit's going down. Later that day, all sorts of different people came out to go, by the way, I know feds because I know a person who's a Fed, and Nick is definitely not a Fed. Came off as a bit strange to me. Strange enough to where it seemed comically evident to a person like myself that, yeah, he's totally working for somebody. He's got a handler, something. And I am talking out my ass. I'm just a guy on the internet. And I can be a bit of a fucking moron sometimes. But such is life, eh? But the way it came off to me was, yeah, this guy works for somebody. And who stands to gain the most? Just a question to ask, right?
Be like if all of a sudden I'm starting to see a pattern of behavior similar to what my grandparents saw in 1930s Germany online, how would I behave? So that's like my charitable kind of overcompensation spirit. At the same time, I'm like, but it's not defensible to be dumb, right?
Yeah.
So
and it's offensive. It's offensive to those of us who have been out there defending them in many instances against critics on our own side. And now you have a couple of comments like, well, what about this? Well, has it gone on too long? Like, is it time to wrap it up? And the thing about Epstein is just so bizarre. I don't know who he was an agent for. It might have been Israel or an asset, or it might have been nobody. Yeah. But we're allowed to speculate about that. It's there's some rule. You can't go there when it comes to Israel.
Well, you and I believe that we're Americans and Americans first, period. End of story. We are citizens of this nation, okay?
That's right.
Israel, we have funded, we have supported, and they're up against a sea of Islamic totalitarianism, and we should be cheering for them, right? Because they're up against barbarians and monsters, and we want them to win. However, here is Megyn Kelly and Charlie Kirk combined, probably 30 million social media followers, like pretty, right? And you and I have been holding this down, and you probably get the negative, oh, you're just shilling for Israel, whatever. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do what's right regardless of the feedback, right? But then all of a sudden, like, I host a person that I moderate the debate of, mind you, right? And I give equal time to Josh Hammer, equal time to a pro-Israel advocate, and my moral character is being put into question. And so I think it's a hyper paranoid, like, we're just going to try to, we're going to just stamp out everything type of practice. But it goes to the point where, if, for example, if I have less ability sometimes online to criticize the Israeli government without backlash than actual Israelis do. And that's really, really weird, isn't it, Megan?
Isn't it weird? Yeah, he noticed too late, unfortunately. God rest his soul, man. You know, I never liked the guy. And it's kind of sad that everybody who comments on Charlie Kirk, almost everybody, whether they're left, right, apolitical, they'll come out and say, look, I didn't like the guy. Like, that would be sad, right? If to pass away and then everyone has to come out and go, well, I didn't like the guy, but, you know, he didn't deserve to die like that. He didn't even seem like a bad dude. And at the end of the day, I don't even know what a lot of people believe in politically. I think if you sat most people down and asked them what their political beliefs were, they'd be apolitical. They wouldn't give a shit. They just want to go home, cook their dinner, spend time with their family, and move on. But having a bunch of dumb shit shoved down your throat day in and day out, like you're really living and they live, it eventually kind of seems to have its own equal and opposite reaction. So here's another thing. Warning. This here, actually, I should probably find the exact moment. Oh, cool. He doesn't get... I don't have to worry about that. Now, I don't believe that was an interpreter. But for a guy to successfully get a shot from that far away, as accurate as he had, doesn't seem that far-fetched to say that these two men here were involved with the shooter. Now, more people have been interested in locating the shooter, even though they're going to give us a different guy. They're not going to give us the actual shooter. They do this every time. They use shit like this to get people to point the finger at one another so they can laugh all the way into the sunset with basically all the money. All right, we got a few more left here. Already got that. That last one, man. Okay, let's dive in. Their baseballs. You see, I've seen some people say that, but the adjustment of the hat is precisely you're on target. As far as there was a thing I read, but I am just a guy talking out of his ass on the internet. But I'm not. I love Israel. I want them to win. By the way, couldn't emphasize that. Pardon me. So yeah, it was 200 yards. There's absolutely no doubt that Charlie Kirk was killed by an intelligence-grade assassin. Yeah, and then the decoys. That's right. There was an old man, an old Jewish man, who was out there screaming that he did it, and they had, gave the sniper ample time to get away. Well, because if you're that far away, you're only going to get one or two shots before you you lose your opportunity to shoot. Like, that's why they allegedly would be working in teams. They have to make sure everything's perfect, because it isn't just a person working on their own, from what it looks like to me. I forgot where I was in reading out this tweet, so I'm going to move on. Without the possibility of pardon. Is that a thing you can do? Yeah, the rest of these I just had set aside, and I wasn't entirely sure how I was going to work it into the story there. Let's see. Yes, it's all over the place. Well, I feel that they're beginning to flood the story with a bunch of bullshit. Now they're working the little Matrix magic to flood us with a bunch of, quite frankly, difficult to believe bullshit. Let's see. They have this this new person that they have located for the shooter. Is a donor for Donald Trump. Kind of weird to have somebody who's on your side politically to also be so extremist that they're going out and shooting Charlie Kirk, of all people. You see that the whole bit about him having engraved bullet casings is where the story starts to splinter off. It seems like. Because now all of a sudden they have this guy who is able to shoot from 200 yards away with an orchestrated distraction, so he had the opportunity to get away. Just the whole thing, it seems so fucking off. Glows in the dark. So no, I do not believe this guy is the shooter. Didn't they do this same bullshit with that healthcare CEO? Let's see. Yeah, this is from 3 hours ago. It's a minute.
Campus.
It's a minute long, so I'll just go ahead and let it play.
Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark-colored towel. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices, bulges, capital OWO, what's this, question mark." Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist, exclamation point, catch, exclamation point." Up arrow symbol, right arrow and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow." And a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." We are indebted to law enforcement across the state who has worked seamlessly together, local law enforcement.
Oh. Helldivers reference. Is that what that is? This last one that I have up. It's what I used for the thumbnail. I know I mentioned this earlier, but Netanyahu personally requested Charlie Kirk visit Israel 2 weeks before his assassination. Kirk was rumored to have denied the request. No, I don't want to go to Israel. I'm good. So it's hard to know what to believe. All of this just seems like, what do they call that? Confirmation bias, where you see what you want to believe, or you see your own worldview, and the things that validate your worldview just brighten up larger at you. Is it that? Or is it really just Israel? Has it always just been Israel this whole fucking time? Who can say?
Respect and appreciate that. But right now, with all due respect, we're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting fire with fire, and we're going to punch these sons of bitches in the mouth. I'm sorry. I know some people's sensibilities. I respect and appreciate that. But right now, with all due respect, we're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting fire with fire.
Oh, okay, it's just 14. I thought it was longer than that. Bro, I will suplex you through a fucking bounce house. I don't even know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Unless we're going to organize an actual cage match, to which I I have challenged Newsom to a cage match for the, what do they call it? The world governor title. One of these days, buddy. You ain't gonna fucking political fight me. Oh, his podcast is fucking horrible if you haven't seen it. I tried to like A-log it for content for the show, and I couldn't do it. I had to put it away.
Down there. Does it have like a laser?
I'm not sure it's actually that far.
I feel like there needs to be a laser on this thing. Or do you,
Well, this is.
Oh! Hey! That was huge. I can't believe it. We gotta get rid of these guys. They're coming into our country.
Hang on.
It's all right.
Okay,
So
one more shot, and then
this could potentially be.
and then we're putting the bug of salt away.
This is fun. But I shouldn't have.
There you go.
Who thought
I shouldn't
you'd be
have
the
chemical
dad?
sprayed my house. To use
There's
this.
a lot. It's quite salty already.
Yeah.
Riveting television.
Good. Oh, yeah, I can't do the pump action.
Well, you got it.
Go.
You have a go. But it'd be quite good.
They needed help. They couldn't figure out how the contraption worked. I'm not sure what news channel it was, but it definitely wasn't one of ours. You could tell from the accent. Sounds Australian. Oh, jeez. All right. So here, Tim Pool shares with us a screenshot for an article. What is it? International Business Times. First, Charlie Kirk. Are Candace Owens or Ben Shapiro next? Fears grow for conservative influencers. Man, I can only imagine. How's Hassan feeling out there? Let's see. I bet he's just having a grand old time.
Sick like.
Yeah.
Is clear. You got to sick like the ACP guys on him. Okay, that's it. You got to get one of those like Haz al Dink type motherfuckers to just like eat his ass alive, you know? Let him fight. Whatever the fuck his name is. What is it? The Albanian dude? Lots of Twitter randos calling for violence against you. Stay safe, bud. I know, man. What else is new? You know, this is every day. Every day of my life. Okay? Every day of my life for the past 10 years.
Just imagine some sad
It is what it
music.
is. It's been happening. And it'll, dude, people will be like, oh, dude, there is a, there are people who are wishing death upon you all over the internet. Like, I know. Of course people fucking wish death upon me. What do you mean? If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott. Okay?
So he seems a little on edge. He just seemed like he was playing the fucking pity pot. Or playing, what do they call that? Sitting on the pity pot. Okay, that seems to be one more here.
I'm sick and tired of it. Left-wingers, liberals, you need to be fucking showing your opponent's guts on there, okay? You need to be gutting them. You need to be shanking these motherfuckers and letting their intestines just ride on stage. What the fuck is this shit, man? Slice them up. Slice them and fucking dice them. What the fuck is this? You cannot have a bigger fucking layup. You could not have had a bigger fucking layup than a horrible candidate like Herschel Walker. Sure, he was prepared very well. And Herschel Walker actually had a good
thing we do need to make sure we do, we got to keep attracting younger viewers that, grow up on TikTok, when they're 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, even though they shouldn't be.
3, it's like all here. Now this guy is down. He's dead. These guys are like
and fatally wounded.
Dude, this guy, I've got to shut this down. Not the whole stream, just Destiny. Because I remember that we have another clip of Destiny on CNN. They're running out of commentators because everyone's having to quit for various amounts of reasons. Here we are. This is the one. They heard about all of that,
actually a signal.
That girl he was talking to. It was a girl, right? Not a young woman, a girl. And they said, hey, let's bring you on. We'll bring you live on CNN.
Spawn, but he's very, very strategically minded. I hate Charlie Kirk. I think he's actually a Satan spawn, but he's very, very strategically minded.
I just wanted to bring up that. Look at that guy. I see the person in the comments was thinking the same thing as I. Okay. Satan Spawn says a person who has been accused of being a pedophile by lots and lots of people. All right. All right, I got a few other things. Here's one of the clips I was just thinking about bringing up. It's so strange to me that they found like the most milquetoast person out there, and this guy's like hateful and inciting violence against motherfuckers. Not him, really? No, he's not. It'd be like if the word, like the modest, soft-spoken, and really mild-mannered person that just gets fucking beat to death in the streets, and people will say, "Oh, he was really rude to somebody in a rough neighborhood," and you go, "No, the fuck he wasn't." You know this person didn't get fucking beat to death, and it was his fault. The fuck.
Sir, can we talk to you? Where are you from? You live in New York?
Who are you?
Don Lemon.
You're a fucking moron, dude.
Thank you. So are you.
Yeah, that's very nice of you to say.
Nice to see you.
Except you've never heard anything I've had to say, and I've heard a whole bunch of what you've
I'm glad
had
you
to
watched
say.
me.
No, I don't.
Why?
But you just get clipped everywhere.
I know, but why don't you? You said you don't watch me, but yet you know who I am, and I get
Yeah, he just explained it, dipshit.
Before I realized that CNN and MSNBC were full of shit, every once in a while I'd see
What do you watch?
talking. I watch all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, but why do you say CNN and MSNBC are full of shit?
Because they lie.
But about what? Be
Everything.
specific. What's everything?
Everything.
How you doing, sir? Can we talk to you?
The best part is when
Anything I've had to say.
just before this, where he goes, "Oh, you're a fucking moron, dude," and he goes, "Well, so are you." And he goes, "No, well, you've never heard anything I have to say." but I've heard a whole lot of what you have to say. Perfect response without missing a beat. This man deserves a fucking beer and a half.
Except you've never heard anything I've had to say, and I've heard a whole bunch of what you.
I'm glad you watched me.
No, I don't.
Why?
But you just get clipped everywhere.
I know, but why don't you? You said you don't watch me, but yet you know who I am. And
Yeah, dumbass. Definitely made my weekend when I saw that clip. Oh, yeah, here we go. I mentioned this a little bit earlier. So, J.D. Vance, the vice president, had this to say, killing cartel members who poison our fellow citizens is the highest and best use of our military. To which Rand Paul responds, JD, I don't give a shit, Vance says. Killing people he accuses of a crime is the highest and best use of the military. Did he ever read To Kill a Mockingbird? Did he ever wonder what might happen if the accused were immediately executed without trial or representation? What, like, I get what he's getting at, but what a dumbass way of putting it. Like, we don't know for sure that all the people who are getting bombed or in the area are who they say they are, or maybe they're captives and we're just hurting innocent people. Like, he could have phrased it or put it in a way to where people aren't going to want to make fun of you for saying, has he ever read To Kill a Mockingbird? You know what? I didn't actually. I faked my test. I pretended to read it in class, and then when the test came along, I just pretended to, like, I just guessed and fucking won and beat it. Never had to read that stupid fucking book. That's your tax dollars at work. Your tax dollars at work. Yeah, 212. See, there is a lot to pull from. Alex Jones and Owen Schroyer had a fallout. If Nick wanted to seize on opportunity, he should get Owen Schroyer and people like him and start to build a fucking network to compete with InfoWars. I mean, I know he has America First, but right now, it's tragic what happened, right? But every person who used to watch Charlie Kirk's show or follow Turning Point USA, they're going to be looking for a place, new people to follow, that type of stuff. He would be a fool not to seize the opportunity, as tragic as it is. All right, this might lighten things up a little bit. Wait for it. All right, we probably don't need the audio, right? We all know what was happening there. These people are all so fucking crazy, man. Here's a little more of an example. All right.
Although I will say this, the last few days you woke up thinking there might be news. Just saying. There will be news sometime. Just so you know, there will be news.
That's not as bad as I thought it was. People like to be a bit melodramatic, but... Like, I thought it was going to be Walls. Is it Walls? I don't really even think enough of the guy to get his name right. The guy that was going to be second fiddle if Kamala won. I was expecting the video to be, yeah, I hope that fucking prick dies. I hope he's fucking dead. Fuck him. That's what I expected to hear, and then it was just kind of a, you know what? I was kind of hoping he'd, wake up to hearing about the guy being fucking killed. Not that bad. Oh, here's another. Something a bit of an aside. Oh, I think we do have a few more things. People like shit to be upset about. Like, you saw, I'm sure a lot of people saw the easy to hate woman. Because when I read about it, before I saw the clip of her at the Phillies game, right? She got that baseball. And the guy just finally, you can just have it. And she walks away with a baseball. Dude, it sounded like people were ready to fucking kill that chick. And at the end of it, it's just a fucking baseball. And that kid got to go back, and because of it, he got to meet a bunch of people. Like, it's not that worth getting worked up about. There's more shit going on in the world than to ready to, like, lynch that chick, it looked like. All right. I got a couple things.
For the first time in Austin's history, we will have a logo to represent the city's services and unify us as one organization.
One Austin.
We will go from this to this. While this effort began,
looks like a fucking hospital. Nicely done.
It is a project I was glad to champion.
Oh, you championed it. So, a lot of money was put in his fucking pocket. Look at that shit. That is the easiest looking logo you've ever seen in your life. So once again, your tax dollars at work. Now, this was a little bit more entertaining. Like, if these motherfuckers are going to, accept tax dollars and not get in the ring and just wrestle one another like it's WWE from the 1990s to early thousands, right? Like, these people should be keeping us entertained. This'll do.
Politically, Mr. Chairman, has received PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry. Are they all corrupt as well?
And I'm telling you, the American Heart Association has been co-opted by the food
Everybody but you, Senator. But you know what? When you ran for president, we have a corrupt campaign finance system. Maybe you will agree with me on that. Okay, you were already president. You got a billionaire behind it. You received $300,000 from people, not from the industry, people in it, as I did, from individuals. You corrupt. President Trump got $3 million. Every Republican got corporate PAC money for the pharmaceutical industry. Democrats as well. Everybody is corrupt, but you? Is that what we're looking at? I don't think so. And I think the issue now...
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, I think you do know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The issue is every time anyone disagrees with you...
Are you saying the pharmaceutical industry was supporting my presidential campaign?
I'm saying...
I don't think so.
I'm not saying that. Every single Republican. I don't mean to be political here, Mr. Chairman.
And then it resets. You know what I love the most about all of these guys? Every last person in Congress or the House of Representatives or whatever the fuck they want to call it. It's almost more difficult to listen to them speak than somebody that speaks English as a second language. Love them or hate them. Like, don't we have enough money? We have all this AI bullshit, all sorts of crazy nonsense. Let's call it that. Nonsense. But we can't get this motherfucker to speak clearly.
Has received PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry. Are they all corrupt as well?
And I'm telling you, the American Heart Association has been co-opted by the food
Everybody but you, Senator. But you know what? When you ran for president, we have a corrupt campaign finance system. Maybe you will agree with me on that. Okay, you were already president. You got a billionaire behind it. You received $300,000 from people, not from the industry, people in it, as I did, from individuals. You corrupt. President Trump got $3 million. Every Republican got corporate PAC money for the pharmaceutical industry. Democrats as well. Everybody is corrupt. But you? Is that what we're looking at? I don't think so. And I think the issue now...
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, I think you do know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The issue is every time anyone disagrees with you...
Are you saying the pharmaceutical industry was supporting my presidential campaign?
I'm saying...
I don't think so.
That's a very revealing salute there, Bernie. Want to say I had a couple more of just pure spurgery in Congress. Again, your tax dollars at work.
Last November, while
it's 6 minutes fucking long.
Secretary of Health and Human Services, Mr. Kennedy, you said, quote, "If vaccines are working for somebody, I'm not going to take them away." No exceptions, no ifs, ands, or buts. You would not take away vaccines from anyone who wanted them.
Okay, I remember this one.
Then last week, you announced that the COVID-19 vaccine is no longer approved for healthy people under the age of 65. In announcing the change, you said the vaccine will be available for anyone who wants it. Now, obviously, both things cannot be true at the same moment. So let's clear this up right now, Secretary Kennedy. Will you tell America that all adults and all children over 6 months of age are eligible to get a COVID booster at their local pharmacy today?
Anybody can get the booster.
I'm sorry?
Anybody can get it.
Anybody. So you're saying that is now the
anyone can get it
of HHS. Anybody is eligible to get a booster by just walking into the pharmacy.
It's not recommended for healthy people.
No. If you don't recommend, then the consequence of that in many states is that you can't walk into a pharmacy and get one. It means insurance companies don't have.
See, she's so full of fucking shit because there are signs that look decrepit and neglected, like no one that have all these signs for the COVID shot are everywhere and they're just falling apart and falling down. No one believes in these fucking vaccines, at least where I'm from. No one gets it. It's available. Like, they push it to you. You see it, the advertisements everywhere. But no one gets it. No one wants it. So what are you even talking about, you dumb bitch?
To cover the $200 or so cost. As Senator Dr. Cassidy said, you are effectively denying people vaccines.
We're not going to recommend a product for which there's no clinical data for that indication. Is that what I should be doing?
What you should be doing is honoring your promise that you made when you were looking to get confirmed in this job.
You're going like this.
And that is, you promised that you would not take away vaccines from anyone who wanted them. You just changed the classification of the COVID vaccine.
I'm not taking them away from people, Senator.
It takes it away if you can't get it from your pharmacist.
Well, most Americans are going to be able to get it from their pharmacy for free. Most Americans will be able to get it from their pharmacy for free.
The question is everyone who wants it. That was your promise.
No, I didn't. I never promised that I was going to recommend products with which there is no indication.
When you said...
And I know you've taken $855,000 from pharmaceutical companies, Senator.
Did you hold up a big sign saying that you were lying? when you said that, because you are the one who said you would not take them
You guys
away.
need to
Now, Senator
I'm
amp
not
it up.
taking them away from anybody.
Secretary,
you want me to indicate a product for which there is no clinical data?
Senator,
is that what you want?
Secretary Kennedy, you said you wouldn't, and now you did.
I'm not taking them away. Everybody can get access to them.
No, they can't walk into a pharmacy the way that they could last month and get access.
It depends on the.
That's the funniest thing about RFK is I struggle to understand what the fuck he's saying. I understand that it's at time and a half speed, but you know, I do have my patience with these fucking people. Like, he can't have an interpreter or something like that. He has to sound like he has literal rocks in his throat. Yeah, no, they get, what do you call it? See, folks, this is why you don't get stoned right? Like during your show. These fucking pens. They get money for pushing it to people. Oh man, great freeze frame too. Give the man some lozenges, right? To get into the Irina stuff, I have to leave pretty soon. Oh, here we go. Van Jones. That's what Van Jones had to say about the Irina Zalutska. Is that what her name was? The light rail murder.
We don't know how to deal with people who are hurting in the way this man was hurting. Hurt people hurt people. What happened was horrible. No one mentioned the word race, white, black, or anything except him.
This is not even, you know, racist at all. That poor guy. All right. And of course, we got Brian Stelter. Let's see what Brian Stelter has to say.
Kirk, other Trump-aligned figures.
Chief media analyst. I guess they're more desperate than I thought they were.
Really, over the weekend,
Employees.
Elon Musk, Charlie Kirk, other Trump-aligned figures succeeded in making this senseless death a symbol of big city crime. We heard President Trump asked about it yesterday when he was heading home from New York City. He didn't seem to know much about it. He said he would get briefed, and then today, Trump did know all about it. That's exactly what has happened here. This story has trickled up from local news to social media and now to the president's attention, and it's being used, as you said, Brianna, as a political symbol, with MAGA media calling for more forceful punishments and more incarceration. I have to say, some of the replies to Musk, some of the comments around this story are baldly racist, stoking fear of African Americans because this man attacked a white woman. The open racism on sites like X today, it's eye-popping. But
So he neglects to mention that the fellow passengers on the light rail just watched her die. They just looked and watched her bleed out. A couple of them got up and left. After a minute or so, one of the other passengers took off his. I think he started trying to keep her alive, but she was dead. This is about the racism on Twitter.
There are also legitimate questions about this so-called career criminal, someone who had been a repeat offender. And those questions, I hope they're not lost amid all of the cesspool kind of comments on social media.
Racism bad. Oh my God, racism. You know, for every action there is a reaction, right? And at a certain point, people are just going to get tired of telling everyone what they want to hear. Who else do we have here? There was a lot of stuff I had to try to cover the light rail murder, but the Charlie Kirk stuff coming out is still mind-blowing. Oh yeah, here is MSNBC.
Which a shooting like this happens.
Yeah, and again, to emphasize what you just emphasized, we don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea about.
In which.
Yeah, it got a lot of people were upset about that one too. Oh no, I don't bother censoring chat at all. So if it's not there when you posted it, it's YouTube fucking with you. It's hard enough trying to juggle everything with the audio levels and try not to have too much silence going on. Do I even have the audio or the background music? It doesn't look like it, no. There we go. Sunsets over Israel. Thank you again, Ear Juice. Alright, yeah, we had the Blue Sky people, Reddit, YouTube comment, like people are strangely more excited about the death of a moderate person than you would think. Here's another Kai Sinat. He's a Twitch streamer.
That's the guy with like the crazy ass takes, right? Or some shit. He be saying some crazy. He be saying some crazy shit, right? Holy shit! What the fuck? Don't watch, okay, bet. He got assassinated. Shit. Alright, chat. Hold on.
That's not that bad. Come on. Some people are getting a little melodramatic about shit. This one is, I think, the best one. Benjamin Netanyahu says, Charlie Kirk was murdered for speaking truth and defending freedom. Dude's telling us why he killed the guy. Think about that. He says it right there. A lion-hearted friend of Israel. He fought the lies and stood tall for Judeo-Christian civilization. I spoke to him only 2 weeks ago and invited him to Israel. Sadly, that visit will not take place. We lost an incredible human being. His boundless pride in America and his valiant belief in free speech will leave a lasting impact. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Well, he didn't add him this time. What the fuck? He just seemed speechless. I didn't know what to think for a second either. I was, kind of thinking it was going to be a shot in the shoulder, right? Or something kind of minor, not shot directly in the jugular. Oh man, kind of horrific. That's the type of shit that people like him do, though. They'll just even tell you right there why he did it. And of course, oh, look at it's all of the big right-wing grifter personalities, right? Some of them are pretty funny. Oh, is this thing fucking dying? The computer might die. My computer is having no thoughts of suicide or is of mental capacity. So if something happens, it was Benjamin Netanyahu. So it is eye-opening indeed. Like, I guess they're trying to convince people to stay the fuck inside. Huh? Here's a good Trump being Trump.
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to.
The audio in this thing. Couldn't you get a mic closer? Jeez. All right, so I guess this is the official, let's see, 10 a.m. from today, so we got 4, maybe 5 hours ago.
Bad stuff happens, and for 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us, that somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I hoped for. Just because I thought it would make it easier on us if we could just say, "Hey, we don't do that here." And indeed, Utah is a special place. We lead the nation in charitable giving. We lead the nation in service every year. But it did happen here.
That stare, am I right? You know, they say a single picture is worth 1,000 words. Has anybody here heard that before? That one right. Okay, no, that's where it goes to shit. That image right there. Now, I think I made it evident throughout the duration of this live stream what it is I think about this. I don't believe these people for a fucking second. I trust my intuition and the things that I have come to know throughout browsing social media, following journalists, doing my own legwork, and drawing my own conclusions. Where the hell did this guy come from? Granted, I've been busy the past couple of days. But where did this guy come from? Just all of a sudden, conveniently, after everyone is shitposting that Israel is behind this, just boom. Right out of thin air. Almost as if this whole thing has been orchestrated, all except for that Charlie Kirk getting shot in the throat thing. That thing happened. The whole thing doesn't add up. And the more I personally look into things and think to myself, did Israel really do this? It starts to look more and more the more I look. Yeah, they did. They did it to send a message to people like Charlie, to people like Nick Fuentes, to people like you and me. Hell, even to the people side by side with us that don't follow politics or the terminally online internet bullshit, whatever you might call it. To even the uninitiated. They're starting to feel unsafe. Unsafe in their own home. And we're beginning to hear from regular ass people that we can't trust Israel. The very entity that most people have been so afraid to even speak negatively of in public. Like the Voldemort of our timeline. Sorry, it's been hard to run everything and keep chat. Let's see. Don't quite know what you're getting at, but I am reading it. That what I'm basically getting at is people are beginning to really fucking hate Israel. It's been growing for a while, or more specifically just the Jews, whoever that might mean to you, whether that means every Jewish person in the world, or the corrupt people in the IDF, or maybe just the people in Israel, or the political people in Israel. But you go online to Twitter, and it looks like it's become 4chan, or more specifically Paul. Conspiratorial. I mean, it's kind of been the nature of the channel for a long time. I've always had the tinfoil hat on, so, you know, but it is what it is. I can admit when I'm wrong, I like to think. And yeah, I'll play that again because it seemed strange to me that he had to make it very clear, put a lot of emphasis on, by the way, this wasn't just somebody else, this is one of our people. Well, when that church got shot up maybe a week ago, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, it wasn't very long ago, a Catholic school, and the government giving money to the Jewish schools. I'm gonna have to bring that up. I don't have a whole lot of time left, but when that happened, there wasn't so much effort to clean it up, to try to tell everyone, wait, this isn't the case, by the way. You didn't have Netanyahu going on a media tour to let everyone know he had nothing to do with this, and Israel never does anything like that. How dare you even insinuate it? This whole thing stinks. It fucking stinks, man. Alright, I should be able to find it here. Is that also in Utah? I'm not entirely sure. Catholics get constantly targeted by terrorists. Government gives money to Jews. Somebody had shared this and it caught my attention. So Homeland Security, in response to the Catholic school that got shot up maybe last week, it might have been 2 weeks ago, is at $94 million in grants to help protect the Jewish faith-based organizations, 512 of them, to keep them safe. Just really does start to feel a bit much. Alright, I'm looking for a specific thing. We had Alex Jones shit, which I'm not that interested in. Of course, To Kill a Mockingbird. Thank you, Rand Paul. Some more CNN, 2 minutes of it. Yeah, fuck all that. You know what? I remember what I'm looking for. It wasn't more recent. It was a little bit older. See, the ADL has gone on a bit of a media tour themselves to let everybody know, hey, by the way, saying that Jesus was killed by the Jews is literally anti-Semitism. I know by now it's probably clear. Sorry, I lost where that thought was going. Here we go. I don't know. I think it would be... What the fuck? Is this guy Kanye? It's not Kanye. I think addressing the question on TV is way more suspicious. Because think of all the schizo bullshit that's posted online about everybody every day. The only real way to deal with crazy schizo people trolling you is to just ignore it and move on.
What are you wearing, bro?
Like, really think about it. The Prime Minister of Israel had to stop what he was doing to go, I didn't fucking kill this guy. And it was just like I got the same vibe that when Trump came out the first time to go, why is everyone asking about this Epstein stuff? I mean, come on, Epstein, really. It gave me the same vibe. Where this guy is very poorly lying. And I guess every person has a different barometer for determining a lie. Where's that? Where's that guy? Greenblatt. Where is it up? Yeah, because Greenblatt came forward with all sorts of crazy shit. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find a new way of doing this. But here's just something random. Look at how fucking short this guy is. So, all I really wanted to comment on, like, how tiny this motherfucker is. Alright. Times of Israel. Yeah, burning an Israel flag in America is now considered hate speech, but you can burn an American flag. Now, to those who are of the opinion that, well, why does this matter at all? Well, because it was always a huge point of debate that burning the American flag shouldn't be illegal because you should be able to express yourself. But now burning the Israeli flag is hate speech. So people were talking about that for quite a while. See, there's so much shit we missed. The dude, the red calf, Ash, the Jewish man that was on, I forget what show, he was on a podcast. He comes up with these ashes, like, okay, well, we burnt the red calf, which is supposed to bring about the apocalypse and the bringing of the Antichrist, and I've got the ashes right here, and this cures cancer. Like, no, you don't. Yeah, I think we're about ready to go. 250, 250. All right, guys. Let's find a good outro here. Hope everybody had a decent time watching the show. I appreciate y'all coming out and hanging out. I don't know when the fuck I'm gonna come back. You know how it goes. Time is a fickle mistress, I think the phrase is, right? Out. Is Trump like 6'3"? I mean, that's not really that tall, though. Yeah, let's do this one. I was remaking this one with Beavis and Butthead, but we're just gonna have to settle for the one we've got.
Her appointment to FEMA should be finalized within the week. I've already discussed the matter with the senator.
I take it he was agreeable.
He didn't really have.
Fighting is intensifying to the point where we may not be able to contain it.
Why contain it? Let it spill over into the schools and churches. Let the bodies pile up in the streets. In the end, they'll beg us to save them.
Good night, everybody. Or good afternoon, rather.
False news has become all too common on social media.
Question everything. Be yourself, because you might find yourself by yourself. Wait a minute. Anybody can learn from their own mistakes, but it takes a wise guy like yourself to learn from the mistakes made by others.
This is extremely dangerous.
Resistance always overcomes resistance. I always love that, adding that old part at the end. Is that just so you know? We're quoting the Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Alright. Later, guys.
I'm more concerned about Savage. Relocated to Bend and Burn.
Our bionic corpus is far in advance of theirs, as is our electronic sentience, and their ethical inflexibility has allowed us to make progress in areas they refuse to consider.
The impatient Roger.
Among other things, but I must admit that somewhat disappointed in the performance of the primary unit.
The secondary unit should be online soon. It's currently undergoing preparation and will be operational within 6 months. NY people will continue to report on its progress. Necessarily primary will be terminated.
We've had to endure much, you and I, but soon, order, a new age. Aquinas spoke of the mythical city on the hill. Soon, that city will be a reality, and we are its king.
Ha ha.